All right, everybody. Adam and John back with another episode of the Bowhunter Chronicles podcast. And this is another one of the Zoom video podcasts, and with good reason this time. It's not just going to be us sitting around talking, maybe show you one thing, two thing here. And you're looking at this and you're saying, wait a minute, wasn't Shawn from Trophyline just on the podcast like not too long ago? But on that podcast, he was showing us some of the new stuff for 2021. No ATA, no shows, or nothing in the foreseeable future. So it's a matter of how do you get this information out there. And he said, get with me in a couple weeks, and I'll have something for you that we can just talk about on the podcast. And this is actually while you're listening to this podcast or while you're watching this on YouTube. If you're getting it the day that it's come out, this isn't even. Basically nobody outside of Trophyline knows about this product, and it's not like something that's small or whatever. So I guess Shawn, thanks for coming on again.
Yeah,
this it was, but we talk here and there. So what do you got for us today? What's going to be sweeping the hunting community, the run and gun by storm for 2021?
Yeah, so we actually have quite a few products coming out this year, but I wanted to share this one with you guys. When we were talking, we again, like you said, we were on not too long ago, and we were just about done wrapping it up at that time, but wasn't fully there. But wanted to wait a couple weeks till it was all buttoned up. But I got here, and it'll be interesting because there's another item that popped on the market at the same time, but we'll explain that here shortly. But what we are launching, and I can actually share a screen with you here if you'd like. If you want to do that with you real quick. This is what we call the you disabled. I cannot share my screen with you. Let's see.
Let me see what I can do here.
All right. See that.
Okay, you should be good now.
Okay, there we go. So let's go right here. Let me know when you can see this.
Yeah, you got a desktop.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Hopefully there's no other secret stuff on there.
Already cleaned it up. So here, can you see this now?
Yep.
All right, cool. So this is the Wingman. So we probably, over 5 months ago, actually after the launch of the mission, we started talking about how do we create the kind of ultimate run and gun product or products. And so we started tinkering around with our mini sticks and really trying to think of an idea of making it as simple as possible, right, at the end of the day. So we were messing around with the mission being built to the top of our platforms and everything in between. And then it finally started. We started to sketch out a lot of different items. And messing around with different designs, and we end up coming up with what we're calling here the Wingman. And if you look at this, so smaller platform.
Real quick, Shawn, for the guys that are just listening, what are we looking at here?
Yep. So basically, you got a small platform. In fact, I'll get you the exact measurements here shortly. But I think it ended up at 11.5 wide by 8.5 inch deep. With you'll see these, very, very similar to what we did with the mission, with the being able to utilize the outside edge. And so what we call these boot crabs. Nubs on the ends. So again, trying to create foot leverage on no matter what angle shot you got. And then let me pull up another picture here. So what we did was made a half of it leveled, flat surface, and the front half is a 25-degree angle down. So getting that ultimate angle for saddle hunters. And so what we did was we took it and it is bolted to the top of our mini sticks. But doing so, we added a double step to the bottom of it, full knowing that we were launching a set of double step mini sticks this year also. And so this particular, we call it the Wingman, right? So you always like to have a Wingman with you no matter where you go. So this particular item will come two different ways. One with one stick by itself, and then the other side of it is as a package. So 4 total sticks with the platform bolted to the top of one of those sticks. But so you're looking at a retail on a single stick with the platform bolted to it, somewhere around the $139.99, $149.99. We're finalizing that here shortly, and then in a 4-pack, right around the $299.99 price point. And again, that 4-pack is they're all double steps on that. Just stacking, just very similar to the way our mini sticks do now. But I'll throw here, I got a couple pictures. This particular model that you're looking at here, if you're watching on the video itself, this is our water jet sample. And we like to do everything in a water jet first on any of our prototypes. That way we kind of work out all the kinks and changes that we want to do before we go to a mold for our cast. And on this particular model here, you're seeing it's actually a 10-inch double step. We're going to a 9-inch double step, which is the same as our single steps. So the single steps are 4.5. So you just double that up and make it 9. So it won't be any different than what you're used to already, other than the sheer fact it's on both sides of the step, on the side of the sticks.
And what's the length of the steps, the stick itself, and then the step distance?
That's a great question. So these are 17-inch mini stick. Here, let me grab a tape measure right here, and we'll measure it all. Oh, actually, I got one right here. We'll do the full measurement. So overall length, it is again. So overall length is right at 17 from bottom to very top, and then space between the top of the double step and the very top of the platform is 15.25. So, and it makes it nice though. Like I don't have any more photos right here, but one of the things that guys will ask is, standing on this step, will this interfere, like trying to step up on it? There's plenty of room. I think I got a picture here of me standing on top of the platform itself, but very, very easy to step from the double step actually up onto the Wingman platform with no issues whatsoever trying to get around the front of it. It's not that deep.
So you said you tried this out already this last season?
Yeah, I've been using it for the last couple months, hunting wise.
How is it on like kick out stuff? Like, can you get around the tree and not have it kick out at all?
Yeah. Actually, we've tried to do it. The biggest thing is we're utilizing the Versa button and the Versa strap. As long as you cinch those down like you should, and and push down or pull down on it just like you do on a normal step, there hasn't been any issue whatsoever. It's the same standoff from the tree that we use on the sticks.
Right.
And you can actually kind of see the back of the platform here. So we did that on purpose. It's the same spacing as the standoff. So there's no issues of the platform hitting the tree or getting in the way or anything like that. Yeah, and again, being that it's a mini stick, not a full length stick, there was we couldn't get it to really kick out. The biggest thing is making sure you cinch that strap tight.
Yes, I've been, because Adam already uses something similar to that. Have you
Yep.
ever had any kickouts on yours, Adam?
No, because so first of all, when I got these pictures and Shawn said, don't share them with anybody, until we're, ready to go. I sent them to John to show him like what we were going to be talking about, and he's like, that looks like it's right up your alley. And for me, I want everything as simple as possible. Now, a couple of questions, like just from my end as a user of, like I said, I use the Artisan one, which is quite a bit smaller than that. One of the things that you can't do on that one is stand up. So is there enough room on this that you can stand up and, attach your bow holder or something? Because the one that I have, it is quite small. I mean, it's similar size to the Scout or whatever, where I got to tighten my lineman belt all the way up to stand up.
Yeah, so good question. So there is, I'll tell you exactly what the depth is. We'll measure it right here. So, from the back of the platform to the very front boot grab, we call it, is 8 inches. If you do it from the very back of the platform to the very front right or left boot grab, it's like 7 3/4. So there's definitely more room. I mean, let's pull up the picture again. So that's this picture right here. I'm a 10.5 shoe. So cinching up your lineman, and obviously you got some space there, right, before your toes are against the tree. You pulling your lineman in, or even cinching in your tree tether. You got some more space there, basically taking some pressure off, the midway of your foot and back a little further, compared to something that was just a lot narrow, bolted to the top of a step. So there's definitely more surface area there.
Yeah, I mean, my main concern is never while I'm hunting from it. It's always when I got to reach up and adjust my, when I put my bowl holder and stuff up against, above me. And that's one thing I think most people don't, that get into saddle hunting, the whole geometry of everything changes because, if you put your bow holder where you normally would, now it's hanging down at your knees because you're not sitting down like you normally would be, so everything's got to be so much higher. And so that's my main issue. And then John, to your point, like I've never had any issues with it kicking out. The only issue that I've ever had where the platform on the top stick is not like my end all be all, which I just want it to be super simple and super easy, is when that last stick lands somewhere unfortunate, like a big knot or the curve in the tree, or there's a branch there or something. You kind of lack that flexibility of putting your platform up here or there, and that's really, as far as my experience, that's the only thing where I've been like, maybe this isn't the best opportunity for me. But
and I look at these are, if I'm gonna do like an all day sit, I'm using my Mission, right, because it's bigger, it's a little more surface area on it. But if I'm running and gunning, and I'm moving quite a bit, or want to try out a new area for the last couple hours of thing, I'm probably taking this piece. That's what I did this past, the last month and a half or so, testing it out. I was actually looking at new areas on a piece of property that we had. messing around. And one thing I like to do is I left. I didn't cinch down or I didn't ratchet down the standoffs super tight where they didn't move at all. I actually left them a hair loose. So depending on the way the tree leaned or moved or something like that, the standoffs were always straight, and cinched tight to the tree, which they seemed to help on some of those trees that were, not perfectly straight.
So, John, with you being like the king of bow ropes and tangled messes and bringing things up the tree, now seeing something like this with a larger, more real estate, what are your thoughts on something like this? I mean, you've been seeing how I've been doing it.
Well, I mean, I really like the platform. So, I mean, I think this is going to be more for, because you know me, I don't really like sticks. I like,
Yeah.
I like the wild edge steps just
Right.
because of the packability.
Yep.
And when I'm coming down the tree, I can just take them off and put them in the pouch. When I get down the bottom, I just zip up the pouch and I'm all done.
Yeah.
So, instead of, especially in the cold, when you get down to the bottom of a tree and your hands are freezing in the late season, trying to wrap up a stick. But I mean, we'll definitely give it a shot and try it out. But I do like a little more real estate. I'm pretty big, 6'3",
right,
240 pounds or so.
Yep.
And I definitely like the platform. But
when I look at that thing, I look at it and I say, man, that thing's huge. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, because you're used to that one. It looks like a pogo stick. I
mean, yeah, right.
So, what is obviously your prototype's water jet. So,
yeah. Yep.
And then you're going to cast. What is going to be your weight, your specs on that for weight wise? Like 300?
I think based on how everything else comes out, I think with the post and the double step in the bottom, probably right around 3.5, 3.6 pounds, total weight on it. And
is this going to be for real weight, or is this going to be like advertised weight?
It's
you know how that goes.
I know how that goes. Now I was going to say I'll grab the scale right now, but I don't have. I think it's upstairs. I can weigh this one in front of you. This one right now is coming at 3.8. On the dot. Get minus strap. So weigh everything without a strap.
And how about like the weight limit? Like
we put 300 pounds on everything. And just because I follow the same suit as TMA. I will tell you this though, we're, the pass the TMA test, you gotta be able to go past double the capacity. Some of the things we've been testing are far past that. So, I don't see this being any issue whatsoever, 2, 3, 4 times, the capacity that we put on them. That's all done through a third party.
So that being said, I mean, so is this somewhat, I mean, we look at it and at the face value, we say, okay, cool. It's a top step platform. It's not anything novel. It's a cast stand. It's not novel. All of these things should line up, and it should pass TMA. But in reality, right, when we're looking at it, it is almost something new. So are there any concerns with the way that it is? Because not that I'm aware of. I mean, essentially, it's a really big cast step. With a tree stand, you've got the cables that are aiding it and taking some of the wire, the weight off from it. The platforms. I mean, I guess the way that they cam over, I mean, it would be similar, but some of it is hitting the tree and using the tree, as some sort of bracing. I mean, John would know more about that.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing to bring up. I'll tell you this about our our casting facility that we use and what we have put through the test, every single TMA or third-party testing that we've done on our castings, whether it's platforms, is we've never broke a cast. Just haven't. Never broke one. We've always, if anything, they break. They eventually break where the bolt is bolted into the casting itself, the platform itself. And I'm talking lots and lots of weight. Far more than the double it takes to pass a TMA testing here. So here, let me jump back on here. So that's I think that's important to talk about because I don't know what people think of casting, but when it's done correctly, it is a very superior product, and the strength on it is, well, we ran something through a test the other day, and it even blew the guys away giving the test. So it's a very, very strong process.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it just, in reality, that's what it is. It's a very large cast step.
Right.
And now, granted, this has obviously been in the works for quite some time, but, Matt Garris comes out,
my buddy,
two days ago, and he has the exact same thing on a smaller post that's welded. And then he's got some sort of a cam cleat deal. And so now Trophyline is just copying out on a limb. And
funny story about that. So, you and I texted back and forth, actually, sent me that picture of that post when Matt made the post about his, and I was already texting Matt in regards to that so no lie, we literally been working on it for 5 months. And so was he. The ironic part is he and I are actually working on a product together already. And we both didn't know about this item that we both had. And so I sent him a picture with a bunch of question marks and said, "What the heck?" And then I sent him a snapshot of mine, and all he said was, "Great minds think alike." I said, "I don't know about that, but it's pretty ironic that how close they are." But that's what's great, That's at the end of the day is evolving this this category as a whole. There's so many people wanting to get more mobile, and ourselves and guys like Matt are just trying to think of new ways different than what's on the market now. There's a bunch of platforms on the market now. There's a bunch of sticks, lots of sticks, right? more coming out every day. And so thinking of stuff like the Wingman is just another evolution of new items, and who knows what's going to be coming out from other people this year. It's exciting. That's what's cool about it.
So when you talk about new products that are coming out, so, we're going to have to ask about the smaller mission platform. We're going to have to ask about the standalone, climber platform. You guys are partnered with Novix.
Yeah.
These things should be no problem. I mean, you draw it up in CAD, you shrink down the old one, you take their lone wolf seat, you add your foot position standoffs, and boom, why don't we have these? Are those your products that are coming in a month or so? We'll be back on here in another 3 weeks, and you're going to say, these are the things that we've got, right?
Yeah. I wish it was that simple. But no, we've looked at, that before, because we see a bunch of guys out there DIYs and looking to cut up the mission or coming up with their own concepts. We've gone down that path. We got things on drawing boards and from a climbing perspective platform, we won't have that this year. It's and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if we'll have it in the future too. It's just depending on how big's the market for it. Is it different enough? Is it is it user friendly, right? Is it compact enough? Is it quiet enough? All those things, the kind of check marks, and then price wise, right? There's a threshold on retails, even though it seems to be in this world, it seems to be pushing up higher and higher every day. But again, we're working on new items every single day. Literally, already started on 2022 on some products. But I will tell you that climbing stand is not in 2021. So
you're disappointing a lot of people right now, Shawn. I'm just telling you. And one of the things, I mean, you can see with this, with the Wingman coming out here, that you guys are listening and you're kind of seeing where the trends are going. And it's funny because, you had said it to me, but and we talked about it earlier before we started recording, but you guys were working on this before the one sticking became like the hottest topic ever. And I think it was the one video of the 13-year-old kid climbing up and everybody's like, I can do that. That's going to be great. So one of the questions that's going to be, and maybe it's something that you just have to add to your website where you can add it to the cart, is, what about a cam cleat option?
Yeah, well, obviously with our relationship with Novix and how successful and that the Versa button and the Versa strap are, we're not going to deviate from that. That said, though, I know a lot of guys are probably going to buy this now because with one sticking becoming hot and probably they'll change it over to a cleat. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to launch it though, like this, like the intentions were. Again, going back, actually the thought process was literally right after the mission launched, and it was literally, how do we come up with the ultimate, hang and hunt kit, and so that was kind of the thought process behind it, and that's no different than it is today. Just now, I think where we thought we would probably sell a lot more kits, meaning the 4 stack, with this, it might be flipped now. More guys might be buying just the stick alone with the platform on top, because of one sticking. But you can still remember, saddle hunting as a whole is a small category, and then you take one sticking guys in that, and that's tip of the spear, right? And it's like John there.
Yes.
It's
don't catch me one sticking.
So yeah, sometimes we're all too close to this thing when you get into these forums and thinking like, yeah, we should go make that. But again, this whole thought process was just, let's make a pretty cool running gun kit that will be really simple and you can be up in the tree quickly. And again, we won't deviate from that, but we'll take a look at the cam side of it. I don't think there'll be too much to it other than putting, maybe another hole in it to bolt it on. But yeah, you're right. I mean, our big thing is we're always listening. There's a lot of people come up with some great ideas, and we're always open to great ideas. So people can reach out to us all the time, coming up with some new items, and we're all about that. We're there's only a handful of us here, and we run out of ideas. So we're always searching for something new.
So are those double steps going to be available outside of the kit with the Wingman? Because I mean, it would seem like, XOP, the original Lone Wolf, your Novix sticks, and the Lone Wolf custom gear stuff, but they've since come out with a double step. It seems like everything is kind of trending that way. And I mean, personally, I think the most people that I know of, or that I've, dealt with, or hunted with, or seen, or whatever, everybody, the people that like the single step are the guys that used the Lone Wolf sticks forever
Yeah.
because that's what they were comfortable with. That's what they had, and that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
But it seems like everybody else is saying, man, I want, 2 feet on there when I'm setting the next one. So,
Yeah.
and I think that would, maybe translate over to, as you talk about, the small market of saddle hunting, of one sticking, of, all of these different options, a fixed double step at essentially a price point.
Yep.
If you are watching the API sticks come out every year, right at the beginning of the season, they only make so many of them. They completely sell out.
Yeah.
People beg, borrow, and steal them until next year when they're released for the next sellout. So, I mean, I would see translating over to tree stand guys, to everyone.
And
Yep.
I was like that too at the single step. I mean, my XOPs, I think when we were first getting in, I'm like, well, I want a single step. And then when I ended up starting to use the wild edge steps, getting up there and then be able to put both feet while you're setting stuff, I was like, well, I think I like a double step better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're spot on. I've always used Lone Wolf single steps, so they never bother me. But when all of a sudden you go and use a double step, you're like, yeah, that's pretty nice, especially when you come down it in dark, right? You're like, oh crap, what foot am I on, right? So yeah, we do. We got a 4-pack coming out. Probably going to retail right around $219.99. We're kind of finalizing on the price of the individual steps, but that's probably what it's about. So it's about 55 a stick or something like that. They'll probably end up settling on. So which is a really great price for a double stick out there. Now.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, I'm just happy to see something different, I guess, and something, from, I don't, I like Zach. I know Zach from Artisan Outdoor Fabrication. I know that he does a good job, but I also know that he's kind of a niche, kind of small operation, does it on, spare time. Matt has a whole nother business that he runs, and, he burns the midnight oil, for his passion of, hunting and everything. And like when go back and listen to our podcast, a super passionate guy about, I guess kind of sticking it to the man in the metal, and if he wants to do something, he's going to do it, but it's nice to see something, kind of a more like we'll just say polished, or big company to come out with something, I guess with the end user in mind, and they're listening, and it's not 10 years late or 100 years down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I wouldn't call us a big company. We've been out for like 15 months now, but we're definitely not big. But there's only a handful of us around here. But the biggest thing is we listen, and all these items are things that we want personally too, right? And so we also know how long it takes, to really dial the product in, and we'll never launch it before we're ready. So yeah, so a lot of times we are listening, and we definitely want to get product out sooner than later for customers and ourselves. But sometimes it's just a process, and all the way from CAD design to flow analysis to casting and everything in between. But again, and also we're not going to deviate from, having our warehouse full of product before we pull the trigger, and launching it to customers. But the big thing we want to do this year is, with no ATA, with none of the consumer shows out there, we just, wanted to pull back the curtain a little bit and let customers know what's coming down the road. And we got more, so we can have some more of these later on.
That said, when are you going to end up releasing the sticks, or when are they going to be available?
So the the Wingman and the mini double sticks will be June this year. So,
Okay.
and right now it looks like everything will be right around that first part of June. So, again, plenty of time for, get them, play with them before hunting season starts. And I know a lot of guys are anxious now because we get inundated every day with questions on new product, which is great. It's such a dull time now, especially no shows going on. So nobody really knows what the new items are coming out. At least last year or in all the years prior, you got ATA and people launching on social media the new products from ATA, and we don't have that this year. So it's a little different. And but it looks like some of the consumer shows are going to start back up. I know Nebraska was up and running last week, because I was shocked to hear. Sounds like Iowa Classic is going to happen first part of March. So hopefully that's a good sign for the future. And our plan will be to be at some of those, when we can, and when we're permitted.
Right.
Which is strange. So yeah, we're this is, when you look at this is, 2 products. I consider this as launching between the single by itself and then the 4-pack, and then the double stick itself. That's a third item. But at the end of the day, we probably have I don't know, dozen new items coming out this year. So like I said, we're always working on new products and tweaking. Actually, I got one right here. I'll throw this in the mix, and nothing major, but working on with my rope guy, 8mm tether and lineman. He's working on kind of a good mixture of strength and lightweight for us, and everything goes right on this. We probably have this out. Will probably be May, probably at the latest, as an option, as an upgrade to selling as accessory. And then one thing we'll do this year too is being able to upgrade probably to some of the kits that we put out there. But I really dig this. I got this in this morning, so I was outside playing with it. It's amazing how light the 8mm tree tether and lineman rope are.
So when you do that, are you? From a company perspective that's making products, and that we've talked off air and things like that, because I'm so fond of your sweatshirt, and you're like, clothes, you guys say John's got one right there. And so I'm saying, we talked about you have to have, so many sizes, what colors, blah, blah, blah. What is the benefit of having 2 different size or 2 different ropes for alignment and tether? Is it simply length, or why would you, looking at that right there, with it being sewn like that, with that loop, you could certainly use either for either. Well,
yeah, absolutely. You could easily use this as a lineman rope, right? Where our lineman ropes, and just about everybody else has a tie dye. We did it purely from here. Let me grab our normal 11mm. Here's the. We purely did it out of when we put them in kits, and you're looking at majority of our customers are brand new to saddle hunting, right? That, this is your lineman rope, always, whether it's whatever side you put it in, right? And then the 5-inch eye, sewn eye is always your tree tether. We just kind of we try to make everything simple as possible, kind of don't have to think about it. Honestly, like when we looked at just doing this like in a larger eye, and just doing that as one. Problem is the loop's still kind of big. The 11mm is obviously a lot stiffer, and yes, you can use that as your lineman if you wanted to, but we just, at the end of the day, we just wanted to keep them separate, and but I'll be honest with you, now that I've seen how small and pliable these are, the 8mm, it'd probably be more beneficial for us just to make, straight up 5-inch eyes, and you can use them for alignment or a tree tether, if you want. Both are 8 foot long, both have the same Prusik on it. Or if you want to run like a Kong duck on it or something like that, that works well. Those will work on it. But big difference in size, when you look at that, here's 11mm 8-foot rope, line rolled up. Here's 8mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's or this fits in one dump pouch. This will, 2 of these will fit in one dump pouch. So, but I mean, there's a cost with it, but that's okay. It's just what you want. So, but we'll be coming out with these, here shortly too. I was excited to see this when it showed up in the mail today.
So when you put in the invoices for those and you just get all the other ropes and all of that, the money that you save, you can just take a portion of that, put it on a credit for John and I, and then
sounds good. We'll create a tab for you.
Right.
And then when you get those sticks to stack perfectly side to side, you put my name on the patent.
That's so funny you said that, because that's a lot of our ambassadors did that same thing. You pop that bottom piece out and you put the inset in so you can rotate this. Yeah. So yeah, there's always monkeying around.
Yeah. So, nobody's going to leave well enough alone. So you, just because we got a little bit of time here before we got to jump off, we both have kind of things to do. So you killed a buck this year, kind of last minute, fourth quarter, third period. You're a hockey guy, Did you kill it off of that stand?
No, I killed it off of something new. So,
do tell.
Stay tuned. No, we and it's funny too. Like that deer, I tried to. I actually saw him quite a bit early in the season. Actually, let him pass early in the season. I really wanted my daughter to. She shot some deer with a rifle and some deer with a crossbow before, and this year we really concentrated on with a bow, and got out a bunch of times hoping that she'd get on that. And never did. And then he showed back up right around Christmas time, and broken G2, broken back hip. So he obviously got hit with a car, or got hit with something, and dragging that back leg big. So I knew if I got the opportunity, I was gonna try to put an arrow through him. And one afternoon, he popped up on my cell cam at noon, and so I knew he wasn't going to be far, and he wasn't. So half hour after I popped up the stand, he come moseying, dragging that leg by. So, but yeah, it was exciting. It was cool to see, and especially late season. You go all season and have lots of opportunity. So lots of bucks. So a lot of our shooter bucks, but either step here, step there, too far, and just the stars didn't line up. And so I really, honestly, I was going to utilize, like, our season in PA comes in back in the day after Christmas is our second season archery. That's a lot of times I utilize that time for shooting a lot of doe for my whitetail management area. And so I was just looking forward to that. And hey, got lucky, and putting another good buck on the ground. So,
Yep.
So just to recap, what are we looking at for price points on the sticks, the pack, the
Yeah, absolutely. So still finalizing pricing, but it's probably going to be the Wingman on the single stick, right around the $139.99 to $149.99 price point for that single stick. The 4-pack with the Wingman bolted to one of those sticks is right at $299.99. And then a 4-pack of double step mini sticks is $219.99. So again, those will be launched in June 2021. which will be here before you know it. It's I just look at the calendar today, and January is almost over, so pretty crazy. But yeah, it's exciting times.
And so, just as a side note, so if, let's say that somebody had just bought a set of your mini sticks, and they say, "Oh man, you didn't offer a double step." Yeah. You're going to have double steps that fit everything. I mean, are you going to have those as an option? If somebody wants to upgrade, because that's out there too.
Yeah, we're having that conversation right now. Be honest with you, we'll probably not right out of the gate, just because our guy's going to literally make everything we possibly can just for our sticks by themselves. It'll be really up to what his capacity is. So I'll never say never. So I eventually, I imagine we will have them, because there are a lot of single steps, out there, not just ours, but Lone Wolves and Noviks. So I would imagine we'll have those in the assortment at some point. So it's just a matter on capacity.
Well, awesome, Shawn. I really appreciate you coming on here and
absolutely. Thanks again for having me.
Pulling back the curtain and kind of showing us the thing. So where can everybody follow along? And you said you were going to do something maybe on Facebook or something in a week or so.
Yeah, probably in a couple of weeks. We've been doing some live questionnaires, Q&A stuff. It's been working well. So probably utilize that same concept and show some new product off. Right on our Facebook page, Instagram. And then we actually pretty cool. We've always been, our customer service has always been really good. You can get a hold of us normally at info@trophyline.com or call our phone number. But we went and added text messaging to our phone number now to get a hold of us, which is 855-948-4868. Or, the last is 948 HUNT, HUNT. And then we added one more feature this week on our website, the chat function. So if you're in the middle of something and you need to answer something quickly, whether it's a size, confirm a size or whatever, you can pop down in the right-hand corner of our website and shoot a chat, a DM real quick to us, and we'll get back to you quickly. And, at the end of the day, it's just trying to make things simpler for our consumer, to get a hold of us or buy a product. It's, at the end of the day, it's just making things easy, for people. So,
well, awesome. And when you're on the site, buy one of those sweatshirts because they're awesome.
We're working. We got some new flavors coming too this year. So. Since it was so well, and you and I talked about that quite a bit. So.
All right. Thanks, Shawn.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.